Hello, Kyle Walker here, and my dog Bosley. Thought I'd go through my book, Grace and Brook Falls Bears, and talk to you today about some of the top bears. Starting with with one of the first, going way back in 24 BB. Bear 24 bald, but first identified in 1996, last seen in 2009. Certainly earned the reputation of being a big dominant bear after seen killing a male bear in 1997 and a time or two a cub. We certainly can look at bears like 24 and a certain dark villain picture. Sure, seeing apex predators doing what apex predators do is harsh. Trying to survive winter after winter in a harsh land brings out reality. 24 has long been gone. What's left is stories and reputation of stories, along with the legacies still roaming up and down at Brooks River, carrying the generics of a bear doing what needed and done to survive. Habits of these bears we love change year to year. Food sources change. What we see on live cams is only quarter of a picture of these bears' lives. Watching how bears lived with 24 also has impacted on his way of living. 24 BB ended up getting a reputation as being a bully like 32 Chunk has when looking through their eyes, seeing only a bear being a bear to live. Optimizing every opportunity to be the predator needed to survive winter. 24 BB found in the true light that he is, can see what became of him. Through the courtship of Bear 209, started a long line of beloved bears, including 402 Rest Her Soul and one of the most loved faces in 503. Watching bears like 24 has its warnings attached without notice. Eventually, a more dominant bear will come along and displace them. That's the harsh reality of the bear's way of life to grow strong or else. We might not like the acts how apex predators live, but still respect them. We love them for who they are, watching as they grow from cub to adult. If watching long enough, seeing the next generation left by 24 BB. Next up, we have Bear 856. Bear 856 first identified in 2006 as a young adult, parents unknown, with the exception of 2017 when he was absent for possibly an injury. He was the most dominant between 2011 to 2020. 856 is the tallest bear at Brooks, according to the LiDAR scans, 1,205 pounds. He's 7.22 feet long from tip to tail. So when standing, he's about 9 feet. Brown grizzly coat, long wide ears. His lips has scar on her right hip. Watching Bear 856 zenning out as if staring in the river caused me to take notice of his reflection. staring back. Oh, the wonder of Bear 856 and life he has lived. Between Bear 856 and Grace only knows the trails he's taken, the life he's lived since leaving the sow bear that raised him, the trials Bear 856 had to go through. Grace only knows. Bear cams at Brooks Falls can only reveal of a bear so much. The life Bear 856 has lived, the battles gone through to survive, the life lessons they play, lessons in training to getting stronger. How many winter sleeps did Bear 856 go through until waking, feeling confident in rising in the bear hierarchy to being top bear? How many challenges did Bear 856 go through to reach the top? If only we could ask 856 what's harder, getting there or staying. If we look closer to the scars and listen to the scars' tales, they would speak of the 12 long years, 12 hard years living. Can only imagine the privilege it would have been to watch Bear 856. Grace only knows the life lived and how many 856 juniors roaming of his face. Maybe the tale of licking their lips too will give them away as yours. The life Bear 856 must have lived to reach the point in his life to Zen. Maybe the years of hanging out with the bear King Otis is paying off. Maybe the years of being at the top are wearing heavy on your shoulders. Bear 856 living are far from over. Bears and zeal far from done. Hierarchy has taken on a meaning of being more wise than his scars. When push comes to shove, don't count Bear 856 out. Reflection of Bear 856 would tell us, if we listen close, he's a survivor. The years lived, the trails walked, and getting to this point in the river, 856, and Grace only knows the weight on his shoulders year after year. Next up is Bear 32 Chunk. Bear 32, first identified in 2007 as subadult, parents unknown. 32 can easily be identified by the scar running on his muzzle. Also can identify him by short ears, short legs, big belly. Bears like 32 Chunk get a bad reputation for being bears. That's just the way they like it. Being top bear in hierarchy. The journey to the top is a hard trail to climb, especially 32. Watching Bear 32 Chunk for the first time can be eye-opening. Being around 19 for Chunk, he's been around other top bears. While we're watching his playing with 8 and 9, he's studying top bears. Long before the scar across Bear's 32's nose was working to the top. That's what big boys like Chunk strive for in the survival of life. That's earned through fun and games and having success at the rivers for fish. Bear viewers like us watching on Brooks Falls cams are fascinated until reminded, watching something we're not fully understanding. Feeling for bears can be hard, especially getting caught up in teddy bears. Adorable as bears like 32 Chunk are, bears are still top predators. Bears to be respected for being bears, doing what bears do to live. We don't need to fear them either. Just give them habitat to be bears. Thanks to Explorer.org for giving us windows into these bears' world, for letting us enjoy a good chunk roll every now and then, even as he sees. If Chunk does a roll in the falls, does another bear see it? We definitely do. Well, bears like 32 Chunk are living a bear's life to the fullest as created. We get to enjoy bears from our everyday living as humans find joy, while Chunk gets to do what Chunk does best while we watch with a grin. Sometimes hungry bears get tolerant of other bears again, like Bear 747, Bear Force 1, who ended up being tolerant of Bear 164. If you can say that, as a 747 acts more like a grandpa trying to teach his grandson or something like that in a bear's world. 747 first identified in 2004 as a subadult parentage unknown. The sow that raised him must have had hierarchy genes as dad. We'll probably never know who. Only that 747 grew up so big. The 747 ID tips is that he's the big one with the big Labrador dog head because of the small ears, left one wonky, short blocky muzzle, medium brown coat, and 2019 weighed 1,400 pounds. Bear 747 just wants to be left alone, fishing in peace. The years of being Bear Force 1 left a toll on his ears. Being a dominant bear for a lot of years will do that. We don't always get to do what we want, do we? Bear 747. Bear is young at heart and young at growing, want to learn. When Bear 164 isn't in the shower, he's shadowing you. Bear 747 just wants to nap in peace by Brooks Falls platform. Sometimes can see him napping on the island that was green. Really goes to show the years gone by as the island gets bare. Becoming a big softy is Bear 747 when it comes to tolerating 164, taking him under his wing while reminding 164 who's the captain. Sometimes the tolerating leads to another bear growing tall. Bear Force 1 likes to fish in the J at the falls from July to August, reminding everyone watching from the wear and tear on his ears, looking like one big dog with one very bad winter's sleep shed. Bear 747, how the people watching love just the way you are. Keep being the giant bear that walks on by, cowboy walking. Even when fishing in the sea, your annoyance is our pleasure. When Bear 164 backs one up beside 747 in the sea, as if saying, hey. Seeing bear 747 sitting beside the rock by the sea, looking at 164. Seeing the river parting between Bear Force 1. Wherever Bear 747 is on walkabout in search of other streams, whenever Bear Force 1 decides to grace us with his presence, if only Bear 747 could tell us his stories of his adventures. And that's the end of today's reading. But each of these bears have a hierarchy in common. We don't know what triggers them to be top bear, and we also don't know what happens when they decide to become tolerant again. But we do know that bears need them to be in the hierarchy, so the rest of the bears down below get stronger and survive. Thank you for listening and watching, and please subscribe and hit the like button on the video. Thank you.